Hey there, how's it going, everybody? I actually hate myself for doing this right now. I have no reason to do this. I'm really not into doing sports videos about gambling and stuff, but I've just built this product and I can't not talk about it for a few minutes. It also has been making me money recently, so I have to just discuss it. All right, so ran the NHL algorithm just now just to look at the games because I found that betting on hockey, because I enjoy hockey and I play the game, I like to watch it. If you bet on like one game and watch it and use the algorithm to make a smart bet, sometimes you can win and make money. And that's what's happened over the last few days. So let's see if there's something on here to look at today. Starts off with games starting right, like very soon. Boston versus Buffalo. Buffalo's terrible, but not the worst team on this list anymore. Start to look at bad teams. Look at how bad Columbus is. Look at the red over at the right. Columbus losing all of their games in the last 15 days. They're losing like 6 out of 7, it looks like, way back over the last month. Terrible, right? Now, that means that Tampa Bay, a team that doesn't seem to like to win by a lot of goals all the time when you think they would with all their firepower, they just barely win games. But they also have a bad history of losing losing games against Columbus. But they look like a really strong pick even at minus 265. I guess you could take a minus 1.5 given how bad Columbus has been. Excuse me. But I mean that's what it looks like to me. But the line's not good there. So let's keep digging around. Pittsburgh's supposed to destroy New Jersey. New Jersey, the Devils are also terrible right there. Just not winning games. Awful, awful, awful. So, like a Tampa Bay Pittsburgh parlay doesn't pay a lot, but it's a very, very strong two-team parlay right there. And you can even think of adding Boston. We see how Boston's at minus 315 at the top. It's worse than the Pittsburgh and Tampa lines, and our algorithm, while it says Buffalo actually is the worst team on here with an adjusted power strength of 16%. Yeah, nobody tops that or bottoms that, I should say. Buffalo is the worst team on here, so I guess it's kind of consistent with Vegas's money line. But it's just tough to take these teams minus goals. You're not getting good lines there. Is there anything good to dig around and make like a one bet? Because that's what I've been doing recently is I pick a game I want to watch. I would watch the Washington Islander game, but not really. It's a tough game to bet there. It's really, really close, and both those teams have been playing even similar strength. If you look at the past couple months, they've almost been look at how close the Washington and Islanders win percentage has been over the last 2 months. They are almost verbatim. That's really, really two even teams. So two even teams. How are you going to make a bet unless one line is fantastic? You can't really make a bet there. So it can't be that. I'm tempted to do Pittsburgh minus a goal or two, but they just had like a big, huge scoring game the other night. Tampa, like I said, the Pittsburgh Tampa parlay is not bad. Well, let's keep going down the list. Carolina and Florida. Likes Carolina, but Florida's a good team. Both those teams also super even. Look at their history. You can see those teams are totally even. You can just take the underdog as straight bets in some of these games with small money. You take Washington, you take Florida. Because one of those teams is going to win and they both have positive lines. But still not a pick of the day material. Philadelphia and the Rangers. Now here, you got a Philadelphia team that's deceptively bad. Look at them dropping even from winning only in 35, 36% of their games in the last month and a half to now even below 30%. Playing not good. Rangers playing better, at least up to 6 out of 10 games here in the last month. The line's not great. It says they're going to win by a goal and a half. That 176 a pretty strong line for the Rangers, but it still doesn't feel like pick of the day material. Toronto and Winnipeg. Here we've got Winnipeg favored as an underdog, and Toronto only having won 17% of their games in the last 15 days. That is starting to sound sneaky. So this is a 7 o'clock game happening right now. Uh-oh. Jack Campbell going for Toronto. It says 78% to 64% power strength, Winnipeg over Toronto. It says the goaltending of Connor Hellebuyck is better on Winnipeg. It says that Toronto's playing terrible. How can you bet? Why not bet against a team that for some reason is struggling in the last few weeks? This is plus 118. And it says they win by 1.2 goals, but they don't cover the 1.5. So you got to take them to win at plus 118. That so far sounds like pick of the day. Let's keep going. Dallas and Detroit. Here you got two bad teams, but Dallas has been playing better over the last few weeks, maybe trying to fight for a playoff spot. I don't know. Perhaps everybody could be in. It's still hockey. So look at them doing very well, but they've probably had a weak schedule over the last few weeks, so maybe that's a little distorted. Not a strong team. I don't like taking a minus 215 Dallas. I'm not going to touch Detroit there, even at plus 1.5, because the algorithm says they're not going to cover 1.5. So let's keep going. Colorado and St. Louis. Colorado minus 160 supposed to win 5-2. Colorado on fire, winning 100% of their games in the last 15 days. 83, 85. Boy, are they rolling. They're only minus 160. Like that line, apparently it says Colorado minus 1.5, but St. Louis has picked it up over the last 15 days, winning 50% of the game. So that's why it's not pick of the day material, but because the line is not great. Minus 1.5 is going to pay you some money. It'll probably be like plus 120, a minus 1.5 for Colorado, maybe even plus 135. It's doable. It's a bet, but I don't know if it's pick of the day. It's a nice later game. I mean, it's only 8 o'clock game, but whatever. Ottawa and Vancouver. It likes Ottawa to win this game at plus 132, but Vancouver is hot off their COVID break, but Ottawa's a sneaky team, and Vancouver's really not all that good, and now they've played like 2 or 3 games. So sneaky Ottawa at plus 132. There's a lot to bet today. I'm going to stick with Winnipeg as my pick of the day. And here's, let me explain betting strategy slightly. Something you can do here is if you take Winnipeg minus 1.5, which is the reverse puck line in that game of Toronto versus Winnipeg, because Winnipeg on the money line there is plus 118, right? The money line there is plus 118. So even on the money line, you get better than 1-to-1 odds. Well, when you take the minus 1.5, you'll get them at like plus 200 or something, like 2-to-1 odds almost. Now, the algorithm doesn't think they're going to cover the 1.5, but does think they're going to win a game like 3-2-ish, and maybe you get an empty net, maybe whatever. So you can win that bet. But also, if you're in the situation where you can live bet and then sell your bet during the game, taking Winnipeg minus 1.5 will give you the opportunity to sell your bet for a little more than you would if you just bet them on the money line during the game if they get up in the first period, second period, or something, and you want to sell it and take it and run and make another bet. That's the kind of thing that I've been doing because it's a really nice way to watch the game and watch the value of your bet fluctuate throughout the game, and you can do something with it. So I'm going to go with Winnipeg to win as the pick of the day. Winnipeg minus 1.5 is a fun live bet to buy and sell like a security. You know, that's how they do it now. And but there's a ton of games on here, and a sneaky Ottawa to win at the bottom, and Colorado covering 1.5, and a big favorites being Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay doing the parlay there. All right, good luck everyone. May all your picks be winning.